Top films of 2022. The Northman, about Prince Amleth, excellently portrayed by Alexander Skarsgård, who embarks on a murderous quest for revenge and to reconquer what was stolen from him, a father, a mother, and a kingdom. The Northman, directed by Robert Eggers, is a cinematic marvel, which is why it gets the number 10 spot, but sadly falls just short of being a masterpiece. Despite its great dialogue, filmography, action scenes, and unflinching portrayal of Viking life, slavery, mass murder, rape and all, the film suffers from some pacing problems, especially in the latter part of the film, and often chooses to prioritise the spectacle over the story, to the delight and disappointment of different cinema audiences. Definitely worth a watch. Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. Daniel Craig reprises his role as Detective Blanc, the greatest detective in the world, as he attempts to solve another equally strange mystery. It's a real old school screenplay that delivers an entertaining and intelligent mystery that, although not quite as unpredictable as the first one, still goes strong. The all-star cast all deliver in their performances, with standouts from Edward Norton and Janelle Monroe. The film really leaves you interested for what Rian Johnson has planned for the third film to complete the trilogy. All Quiet on the Western Front. This film is a refreshing take on the war genre, this time following a group of German friends as they enlist to serve the fatherland. However, they quickly discover the reality of war. This film is a beautiful but utterly bleak masterpiece. It has stunning visuals, with some of the shots looking like they were painted with watercolours. It has terrific performances as well, and a cynical take on war and those who preach it. The only slight criticism some have had is its choice to add in some new plotlines, while completely glossing over others from the books. But it still powers through as undoubtedly the best war film of the year. Boiling Point. Boiling Point follows the story of head chef Andy, played by Stephen Graham, as he takes on the busiest night for the restaurant during Christmas. The story opens up with a surprise visit from a health and safety inspector that sets the staff on edge as they receive a deteriorating score from 5 to 3. The choice to make the film just one 90-minute take really pays off, adding to the anxiety build-up and claustrophobic experience that's very akin to that of Uncut Gems, completely immersing you in the kitchen. Stephen Graham is as exhilarating as always in this film, with his honest, urgent and vulnerable acting elevating the screen. I can't recommend this film enough, especially if you work in hospitality. This is easily the best drama of 2022. Top Gun Maverick. Tom Cruise returns 36 years after the original Top Gun, reprising his role of the fighter pilot Maverick, as he fights in a new age where drone technology seems to be taking over. However, he is drafted for one last mission. As cheesy as the film may be at points, lacking in character development, dialogue and realism, it's hard not to deny this film is an absolute blast. It features some of the best aviation scenes ever put to screen that make you really feel like you're in the cockpit. While it starts off fairly slow, it does quite literally take off in the second half of the film. While this movie is great, if you're looking for a more serious film, this is not for you. Make no mistake, this is at its heart truly a ridiculous action film, but for all its flaws, it's still a wonderful piece of cinema. Elvis. Whether you're a fan of Elvis or not, this drama biopic of one of the greatest musicians of all time is a fascinating watch. Austin Butler nails his performance of the Las Vegas showman as he rises to legendary status while suffering from his battle with drugs and superstardom. A rather fat Tom Hanks also crushes his performance of the Colonel as his mysterious past is unearthed. Baz Luhrmann did a great job with the cinematography in this film, with each scene being real eye candy with clever cuts and editing that completely captivates you. Although the pacing may have been a little off at times, and the choice to completely skip over certain events in Elvis's life, this film is still a very entertaining and for the most part truthful recount of Elvis's life. Emily the Criminal. Aubrey Plaza gives a surprise performance in her role as Emily, a person straddled with student debt, unable to find work, that turns to credit card scams. Plaza proves she can play more serious roles with this film, as her descent into the criminal underworld is excellently portrayed. What this film lacks potentially in pacing, and with it being slightly slow at times, it makes up for with its gritty realism and relevant story. Although the ending is slightly anticlimactic, overall it powers through, as first-time director John Ford proves he has what it takes to make feature-length films. The Outfit. About an English tailor brilliantly portrayed by Mark Rylance, who must outsmart a dangerous group of criminals to survive a fateful night. Definitely heavily inspired by Reservoir Dogs, as these men attempt to uncover the identity of the rat in their organisation, while the whole film is shot inside the same building. This film really triumphs through its simplicity. The writing for the film is the real standout that carries it from start to finish, with no need for CGI or crazy action scenes. The twists and turns throughout this film constantly keep you on the edge of your seat, making this easily one of the best films of 2022. Everything Everywhere All at Once. Definitely the weirdest film of 2022. Daniel Scheinert and Daniel Kwan's Everything Everywhere All at Once is an action-packed, hilarious and emotional-filled rollercoaster that manages to be so chaotic and all over the place throughout its entire runtime, while somehow also being completely down to earth and sensible enough that anyone could understand and follow how everything worked and what was happening, and not be bored or overwhelmed. Trying to give a detailed synopsis of this film is a near impossible challenge. The easiest way to explain it is that it's about a Chinese immigrant who gets unwillingly embroiled in an epic adventure where she must connect different versions of herself in parallel universes to stop someone who intends to harm the multiverse. While it is definitely not for everyone, if it is for you, it's a must-see that will not disappoint. A24's productions have really been killing it lately, with their indie releases like Lighthouse, The Green Knight, Midsommar and Uncut Gems. This film is no different. Honourable mentions: Jackass Forever. This film was a real surprise as the Jackass team pulled it off again, with this film that is as disgusting as it is hilarious. Some are saying it's the best Jackass film to date, with great new additions to the cast like Eric Andre. Avatar: Way of Water. The effects in this film are absolutely mind-blowing, as once again Avatar sets the bar for what digital effects can achieve. However, it does fall slightly flat with its story and character development. Note: Jordan Peele's latest sci-fi horror is as weird as it is terrifying. Peele is clearly a master of suspense and cinematography, however the film does struggle with its fairly uninteresting characters, and conclusion which is quite hard to make sense of. Banshees of Inisherin. The Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson duo are back with this film about a friendship gone wrong that is really worth the watch. Vengeance. This film features some great comedy, suspense and drama, as BJ Novak really delivers a surprise performance as a journalist investigating the death of a woman he hooked up with, Brian and Charles. This funny and wacky film starring the hilarious David Earl is completely preposterous, however still manages to tackle the issue of bullying and loneliness, resulting in a surprise ending and overall a joy to watch. Batman. Christopher Nolan's trilogy, as well as Todd Phillips' The Joker, really were a hard act to follow, but Matt Reeves succeeded with excellence, exploring Batman in a refreshing new and interesting way, which is why the film takes the top spot on our list. This is the darkest night ever put to cinemas. At times this film can feel more like a horror film than a superhero flick, with its grungy, apocalyptic aesthetic. It really seems like DC are trying to target the more adult superhero audience with their latest releases, an interesting tactic as Marvel had clearly cornered the kids market. If this film is anything to judge by, this tactic is clearly working. Robert Pattinson is superb as Batman, with Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman and Colin Farrell's Penguin also amazing. Visually, this film is nothing short of a masterpiece. Reeves crafts every shot and scene with dazzling lighting and colours that perfectly personifies the capitulation of Gotham City. This is also matched with the bleak, terrifying score that all compiles to make an excellent, thrilling ride you can't take your eyes off. All of this leaves us yearning for the second installment of the franchise releasing next year, starring a new Joker. We'll just have to see if it lives up to the expectations. What did you think of our list? Let us know in the comments below. DICE also offers similar content as shown in this video, so if you're a seller looking to get your content out to a global audience, or a buyer looking to acquire titles, then get in touch with us via our website connect.digital or our email address dicesales@connectdigital.com. Be sure to subscribe for more videos like this one. Have a great day.